All right, so rewriting equations in Formula 1-5. For you guys, this is actually pretty important, okay? Why? Because this is kind of like one of the building blocks slash foundation blocks of algebra. It's just being able to manipulate equations and solve equations. So at times in algebra, you're going to have two variables. Sometimes you'll have more. But for algebra, we're going to have two variables. They're typically going to be x and y, Andrew. And what I'm going to ask you to do is I'm going to ask you to solve for a variable. Now, why would I need to know this? Well, let's think about this. Let's say you have fencing, okay? And you want to kind of like figure out what can the length of my fence be if I have a certain width. Because you guys, like some of you guys live in media, right? And in between the houses, there's not a whole lot of room. But let's say you want to put a dog run in there. Okay, well, you know the width, you just have to figure out how long it is. So you can kind of take your equation and solve it for like a length or a width. Okay, and we'll get to that. But up here, in order to put the equation 3y plus 4x equals 9 into a graphing calculator, right? Here's the big thing. You guys have a graphing calculator? Pull it out real quick. We're not going to need it. You don't have one, do you? You can look. Do you see this button up here? What does that say, Nate? Wait. Y equals. Or Sean, you don't have a calculator, right? You'd agree that it says y equals. Now, see how it says y equals? See that? See how it says y equals right there? All right, now, if I want to graph this equation, notice I can't graph it because it's not y equals. I can't put it in my calculator. So I don't know what it looks like. So what I need to do is I need to get y by itself. So this is how I do it. When I'm doing this, okay, and this is going to look a little weird because I have to kind of do it in a different way because of you guys at home. So what I like to do is if I'm solving for y, I cover up. You're not going to tell me my smartboard's not plugged in, Andrew? You're killing me, bro. Like, isn't this why you come into school, to kind of tell me what I'm doing wrong? Because I looked out and he was the first person I saw. And I was like, wow, it's going to be the day of Andrew. All right, so what I'm going to do is I'm going to kind of cover that up. Now I think to myself, how do I get rid of a plus 4x? This in your book? Do you have your book? No. All right, hold on, I'll get you. So how do I get rid of plus, you need one too? I'll get you. How do I get rid of plus 4x? Subtract 4x. So my first step is going to be to subtract 4x. Now, those cancel. Now, can I do 9 minus 4x? Jack, can I do that? Can I do 9 minus 4x? No, because they're not like terms. So I like to view this 9 as kind of like falling off the back. So I have on this side, I have negative 4x plus 9. But now I have that piece, right? I didn't do anything. I just didn't pay attention to it. This piece drops straight down. So I have 3y equals negative 4x plus 9. Now let's think. I'm still trying to get y by itself. So let's cover up the y. Now, if I cover up the y, how would I get rid of times 3? Just think about it this way. If I cover that up, I'll divide by 3. Now, if I divide everything by 3, I get y equals negative 4/3 x plus, what's 9 over 3? 3. All right, who needs books? You need one? You ready to practice social distancing? You ready? You ready? Listen, this is gonna be like a dime, not like a dime that Carson Wentz would throw. This is like Pat Mahomes type. You ready?
Ooh, nice catch.
It would have gotten to you. You had the balance. All right. You guys can copy that in. There you go, high power. Ooh. 1-5. All right. Now I could take that and I could actually type it into my calculator and get a graph. It's all the way at the back. I'll get you caught up. Now, we have this. We have y equals 4x minus 2z. Yeah, it's arbitrary. Let's say I want to solve for x. All right. Now, if I want to solve for x, I have to get x all by itself. So I think to myself, if I cover up the x's, how do I get rid of minus 2z? Add 2z. Now, here's the thing that a lot of kids have trouble with, working on the left and right side. I could care less which side I'm working on, and that's where I want you to go. Okay, notice my x is on the right-hand side. To a lot of kids, it's weird, but it's not weird, okay? It's a little uncomfortable, but it's not bad. So now, here, these cancel. So on the right-hand side, you can see I have 4x. On the left-hand side, I'm just going to kind of drop it down, and I have y plus 2z. Emma, how do I get rid of 4, the 4 in front of the x? Divide by 4. So let's divide by 4. And notice I divide everything by 4. That's going to be 1/4 y. 2 over 4 is 1/2. So I have 1/2 z equals x. And there, x is by itself. And I could rewrite that as x equals 1/4 y plus 1/2 z. Are you missing a pencil?
Yeah.
Would you like one? Go ahead and take one. Don't tell anybody. All right. All right, I want you guys to try and solve these two equations for y. Rock, paper, scissors, shoot. You ready? If you beat me, host or rock? Rock, paper, scissors, shoot. You want to try that? Rock, paper, scissors, shoot. Lost.
He just took his eye out.
Should we do B2?
A and B, yep. All right, Liam. Liam, you there?
Yeah.
Liam, how do I get y by itself in A? What do I do?
Divide by 3.
Yes, I will divide by 3, but what do I have to do first before dividing by 3? You have to get rid of that x, right?
Yeah.
How do you get rid of that x?
I don't really know.
All right, well, we get rid of the x by adding x. So 3y equals x plus 7. And then you said divide by 3. So now I'm going to divide by 3. So if y equals 1/3 x plus 7/3. Nate, how'd you do B?
First time subtracting 5.
The 5x, okay, very good.
And you divide 4.
Very good. Then divide by 4. So you got negative 5/4 x plus 5 equals y. And did you happen to rewrite that?
That's all.
That's okay. So if you wanted to rewrite it, Nate, you could rewrite it as that. Do you just see how I kind of flipped it around? Now, these down here are a little trickier. Okay? Now, how do I get a y by itself when I have 2 y's? Harshan, do you have any idea? You can Okay. Is 3y plus 2yz, are they the same? No. Okay, but that was a good idea. I like that. So Harshan said, if you can, combine like terms, but unfortunately in this problem, I can't. Okay, so that was a good step. You weren't wrong. It just wasn't what it was supposed to be for this problem. Okay, what about Jordan? Jordan at home.
Yeah.
Do you have any ideas
Wait for what?
in order to get y by itself in this example here?
Yeah, no clue.
No clue. Okay. That's kind of what I figured. Now, Kevin, this is like a sleight of hand. It's like a magic trick, okay? Are you ready for it? Harshan, do you remember distributing? We're going to undistribute. Undistributing is called factoring. Do you see how they both have a y in common? I'm going to pull that out. So distribute, I kind of drew the arrows and drew it into the parentheses, right? Now I'm going to pull it out of the parentheses. So watch this. I'm going to pull this y out of the parentheses, right? I'm going to pull it out like that. Do you see how I'm doing that? I drew my arrows and pulling it out. Now, what's left in the parentheses? 3 plus 2z. You see that? Sleight of hand, magic trick. That's why they call me 10. Not tell him. He's the quiet one, right?
We wish.
Most people do. But I've been told that I should narrate the Earth videos on the Discovery Channel. Like, my mom says I have the voice of a saint. And that, like,
her opinion.
No, she wishes I was on the radio so she could like turn me off. Yeah, it's sometimes I talk just to hear myself talk, but
You should just record yourself mentally.
I do, and then I think like, wow, what a beautiful voice that is. It's a shame to waste it. The things I said. The things I said. All right, here we go. All right, now I was talking about this at the start of class. And I was talking about like the area and length and width, right? Now, here I want to solve for W. So if I want to solve for W, okay, how would I do that? Now, let's pick Delaney. Delaney, you there?
Yeah.
Hope, you there?
Yeah.
Hope, how do I get rid of times out? So what's the opposite of multiplication?
Divide.
So we're going to divide by L. So this is A over L equals W. Easy enough. Now for the sake of time, I want to solve for L over here with the perimeter. So I'm going to subtract 2W. That's going to give me 2L equals P minus 2W. And then I'm going to divide by 2. And that's going to give me L equals P divided by 2 minus W. Okay. Nate, is this it? Just this page, or is there one after that? There's one more after that. This is the last one. Okay, here we go. Now, I have to get through all of this in like 15 minutes, so I'm going to kind of help you guys through it because I want it to be all on the same YouTube. Kevin, do you see how this says I equals PRT? This is a simple interest formula, okay? I kind of think of like I per. And I kind of think of like per plus, like the shampoo. It's weird. But if you can kind of remember that, this will help you on like later on in the math. But what operations going on in between each of these variables? Is it addition, subtraction, multiplication, or division? Multiplication. So in order to get R by itself, I'm going to divide. Now watch this. Ready? I want R. So I'm going to divide by P and T. So I get I divided by PT equals R. Nicely done. You didn't think that was going to be that easy, did you? Yeah, sometimes they are. Sometimes they are. Sophia, you ready? What operation's going on here between the R and the T? So how do I get rid of it? Divide. This one's easy because we've done this a ton, especially I think on like the last section. So it's D divided by T equals R. And if you guys remember in like 7th grade, you guys learned about this triangle and it had D at the top and R and T at the bottom. There's like a multiplication sign in between. At least I think you should have learned that. Okay. So it's kind of part of that. Now this guy's a big one. He's a beast. Just like Jack, and Jack's gonna help me out with this. You ready, Jack? Do you know what the C and F stand for? Yes, you do. I'll give you a hint. All right.
Was it rhyming?
Do you want a rhyming clue? Good, because I didn't have one. All right. The hint is it measures heat and cold. Fahrenheit and Celsius. That formula is a pain in the butt to remember, but we live in America where we measure things in what, Andrew? Fahrenheit. So we measure things in Fahrenheit. That's why this says F equals 9/5 C plus 32. But Emma, in Europe, they measure things in Celsius. So what we want to do is we want to convert this formula into like Celsius so we can figure out like what the temperature would be like over there. Why? Let's say you go to Europe. You need to know what kind of clothes to pack, right? So here we go. Or let's say your cousin from Europe is coming over here. You need to tell them what to pack. So Jack, I need to get C by itself. So what's my first step? I have to get rid of the, so we're going to subtract 32. Those cancel. So we're going to get F minus 32 equals 9/5 C. Now this is the tough part. Ready? How do you get rid of 9/5? And I want the good answer. I don't want the weird answer. It's like divide by 9/5. Now Jack's got this. I have faith in you. Yes. Oh, I got faith in you. I believe in you like I believe in Santa. And he's real. Yeah. On top. How do we get rid of a fraction? By the, starts with an R, reciprocal. Nicely done. So we're going to multiply by the reciprocal, which is 5/9. Now, over here, we have to multiply the whole thing by 5/9. So notice, Jack, those cancel. Those cancel. So we have 5. F minus 32. So we have 5/9 parentheses F minus 32 equals C. There we go. See, told you can do it. Getting all this? Sure. Are you just telling me what I want to hear?
Yes.
At least you're honest. I can respect that. All right. Solve S equals pi r squared plus pi r L. Any idea what that formula is for? Surface area of, so close. Good. Pi. So it's, think about it,
Cube.
not a cube.
Cube. No. That's
All right, so hint for you guys, hint. Whenever there's pi in a formula, it's going to have to deal with a circle. So it's either going to be a sphere, a cone, or a cylinder. Oval.
Radius and
So the radius is r, but it's pi r squared plus pi r L. So this is a cone. Close. It's like an ice cream. You'll learn about that next year. So we want to solve for L. So I'm going to subtract pi r squared from both sides. I notice I just treat whatever doesn't have like the variable I'm trying to get by itself just as like a number. Okay. So these cancel. So it's S minus pi r squared equals pi r L. Now, I need to get L by itself, so I divide by pi r. Divide by pi r. Those cancel. So I'm left with L equals S over pi r minus r. Because notice over here, the pi's would cancel, and r squared divided by r is just r. All right. Here you go. 2 problems. We have to use the work we did today, so hopefully you wrote it down. I want you to determine the rate of speed you are driving if you travel 15 miles in half an hour. Okay, use the formula from above. And I want you to determine the temperature in degrees Celsius if it's 78 degrees out. So you guys need to do that. Okay, you might need a calculator. All right. When you're done, okay, let me know. I will post the homework up on Schoology later today. There is a little bit of homework. All right. But you at home, when you got them and I go over it, you can leave. But I'm going to give these guys in the class a little bit of time to get it. So when you guys in the class have it, raise your hand. I'll check your work.
Yeah.
All right, so you're going to use that formula. So what's your distance? So we're going to do D, which is 15, divided by the time, which is 25. That's going to give you R. Yeah. You okay? So here we have D, which is 15, and our time was 25, so you're going to do 15 divided by 25. Because this up here, which is, we solved it, and it's D divided by 2. Okay? Don't worry, I'll be posting all the notes. So if you miss anything, yeah. It's good. Well, you don't have a calculator, do you? 30. Uno. Do you got them, or are you just looking for a high five? Because I can help you, but I can't give you a high five. Did you subtract 32 first? So we're 78 is that. So we're both doing.
That makes a lot more sense.
Of course you did.